Most of us have been taught to train by completing all sets for one exercise before moving on to the next. Quite monotonous to say the least. But there are definitely alternatives, and one popular alternative is the use of supersets. No, unfortunately, that doesn't mean doing sets like you have a logo on your chest, nor busting out reps after being bit by a spider. The concept of supersetting is quite simple. Instead of one exercise with rest in between sets, you go back to back with 2 exercises with little or no rest in between. Fittingly, supersets are also known as paired or complex sets. Now, the type of exercises mixed together matter. Some suggest pairing 2 exercises targeting the same muscle groups, such as barbell and preacher curls. Some suggest pairing one upper body exercise with a lower body exercise like pull-ups and goblet squats. But the most popular type is known as agonist-antagonist paired sets, or in the scientific literature, APS for short. In simple terms, it means you train 2 muscle groups opposite of one another, such as the biceps and triceps muscles. One extends the elbow and the other flexes it. To do an APS type superset, you can employ bicep curls with triceps extensions. Another example would be back rows to train the upper back paired with bench presses to train the chest. Now, many people think that supersets are only good because it saves time. You're essentially cutting your workout time in half by pairing exercises. But the big assumption against supersetting is that it won't be as effective as traditional sets because you will fatigue faster, thus cutting down performance and ultimately cutting down your results. Well, good thing we have research to shine a light on this. First, an 8-week study in 2009 found that trained subjects were able to significantly improve their 1-rep maxes on bench pulls and bench presses with APS training, whereas traditional sets saw little improvement. A 2005 study found that rugby players were able to increase bench throw power by a modest 4.7% with antagonist training, whereas no antagonist training saw 0. We see more of the same in another study where supersetting resulted in 55% more reps versus traditional sets in the seated row. And again, a study on heavy failure training observed supersets achieving 27% greater volume than traditional sets. And one more study found that superset training burned more calories. So that's benefits for strength, power, muscle growth, and calories burned from supersets over traditional sets. And don't forget, all the while saving time. How it actually works is not fully clear, but many believe that it has to do with the stretch shortening cycle, which is another topic for another day. But it seems like the initial assumption about how supersets will kill your performance doesn't really hold much weight. Now, before you run off and superset all the things, note that it's not so amazing for all situations. In fact, it depends. Where you're best off with supersetting is with accessory or some compound movements. Where it doesn't fare well are full body type movements like Olympic lifts. In fact, one study even suggests that squats are worse off with supersetting. And if you think about it, squats can somewhat be seen as a full body movement with all the load held on the upper body. Also, all of these studies show improvements with subjects that have extensive athletic or training experience. Beginners might want to limit their supersetting because of their lack of conditioning. Chances are, beginners will need extra rest to recover metabolically. And if you're in a crowded gym, you might not have the luxury of space nor equipment to do 2 exercises at once without looking like the dude that hogs all the dumbbells while curling in the squat rack. But again, the time saving alone should be good enough for you to at least try supersetting and see what it can do for you. That means less sitting and more lifting. Share your super thoughts on supersets in the comments below. Also, come support the channel by checking out some cool merch or check out PictureFit's Patreon. As always, thank you for watching.